London. Tanya Pardella is leaving London. Her last day is November 26. She wells up talking about it. She will miss jacket potatoes, and Sunday roasts, and her morning commute past playing fields, small children in school uniforms and a red telephone box to the hospital where she has been a pediatric nurse for 11 years. Ms. Pardella does not want to leave the country she came to over a decade ago. But that country no longer exists. On June 24 last year, she said, "We all woke up in a different country." 17 months after Britain voted to leave the European Union, many Europeans are voting to leave Britain with their feet. Some 122,000 of them packed their bags in the year through March, according to the latest figures available, while the stream of new arrivals has slowed. In London, a city long sustained by European bankers, builders and baristas, a place that makes you dream, Ms. Pardella said the departures are beginning to hurt. Construction companies and coffee shops are struggling to recruit. Top universities worry about retaining talent. And nowhere are the concerns more elemental than in Britain's treasured and already overstretched National Health Service. Long before Brexit, the NHS suffered from chronic staffing shortages, and today the country has 40,000 nursing vacancies. But recruiting nurses from the European Union had helped plug the gap, especially in London, where the share of nurses from the continent is about 14%, or twice the national average. King's College Hospital, the massive institution where Ms. Pardella works, is short of 528 nurses and midwives, and 318 doctors. Brexit seems certain to make it harder and costlier to recruit from the continent, assuming that people will still want to come from there. Even the legal status of European Union citizens already living in Britain remains unclear, entangled in the stalled Brexit talks between Brussels and London. Many fear they could lose rights, job security, pensions and access to free health care. This uncertainty is one reason that some European healthcare professionals are either leaving, or thinking about leaving. In the year following the referendum, almost 10,000 quit the NHS. The number of nurses from other European Union countries registering to practice in Britain has dropped by almost 90%. As yet, there is no mass exodus back to the continent. The number of European Union staff in the health service even grew slightly in the year after the referendum. But the trends are unmistakable. The number of Europeans leaving the system is rising, and the number joining it is falling. With London in the grip of its worst ever staffing crisis, nurses are being pushed to breaking point on understaffed wards, said Tom Calclough, regional spokesman for the Royal College of Nursing in London. If those EU colleagues who have not yet left are not given an unequivocal right to remain, the very safety of the capital's care settings will be under threat. The NHS, with its philosophy of free universal health care, is a pillar of post-war British identity, once described by a former minister as the closest thing the English had to a national religion. When London hosted the 2012 Olympics, a highlight of the opening ceremony was a dance performance by real nurses whose bodies eventually coalesced into three giant letters, NHS.